Welcome back. This is episode 2 of Good Neighbor, Bad Golfer.
We're still good neighbors.
And I'm still a bad golfer.
You and me both.
So we're about to really see how bad of golfers we are. This week is the Masters. Hence the green pants.
Yeah, that's, you're representing this week. I woke up this morning. Things were a little hectic at the office today, so I didn't get to dress for the occasion, and I wasn't going to let you miss out on having that posted online.
Absolutely.
So much appreciate you showing up for the event. But yeah, this is my favorite week.
Great week. Great week.
Absolutely. And it's one thing to where I can tell you today, just based off of our first episode, well, should I say first episode, cut number 2. Cut number 1, we came with the energy.
Yeah, cut number 1 was good. The audio was just terrible.
It was horrible.
Terrible.
Yeah.
But we posted a couple things from there where the audio wasn't god-awful, but it was still pretty bad.
Yeah.
If you saw that, cool.
Hey, speaking of,
if not, you didn't miss anything. But God damn it! All right. Another thing.
No. Yeah, go ahead.
Another thing was the
Listen, neither one of us are speech majors by any means or anything like that. We're still working on this. There you go. We did get some feedback, criticism, whatever you want to call it. We appreciate it, but that was one of the big ones.
We're going to get better.
We will.
That's our promise.
Stick with us. Better. Yep.
I'm still going to sound like an idiot, but that's okay.
I am an idiot, so
yeah,
that helps.
It's just, I don't know,
It's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. That's a great way to put it.
Yes.
Oh, man.
But if you like us, you'll stick with us. Because I promise
Maybe.
We'll give you some good content. And if you don't, you don't. Hey, it happens.
It's not for everyone.
It's not. It really isn't. I spent the majority of my morning, besides being bear down at the office, trying to look at some other podcasts, some newer stuff that's coming out and everything like that. And one of those things to where, that criticism was right. You don't hear the ums a lot on stuff like that. However, it's funny watching podcasts that are like, mid 15 to 20 episodes, because when you scroll down, you see the first episode.
Oh, yeah.
You see the mistakes happening, but then it's pretty cool because you get to just continue to see it grow as they're improving, the set's improving, the camera work, the editing, all that kind of stuff, and it's one of those things that's where we're going to try to get to. So
it can only go up from here.
Yes. Yeah. Once you start from the bottom, like Drake says, it's, started from the bottom. We're not there yet. Got a ways to go, but we'll get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, thank you to all those who actually, watched and, listened to Nick and I begging you to watch. So thank you very much. We appreciate the support.
Liked and subscribed. Appreciate all of those.
Yep. So,
and I think that if it continues, because I just heard you say it again, we're going to get an counter going.
I don't like that idea.
We're just going to set new records. Okay, that's what we're here. We're here to break records. All right.
This might be the dumbest podcast or video or whatever out there, but
that's right.
I was looking around earlier at some things to talk about, and one thing I forgot to say: this is actually a solar eclipse watch party.
Oh,
just kidding. We're not going to do that, but I think it is actually going on right now.
Yeah.
So I just said again, but I was not aware that this solar eclipse was such a big deal. My lovely wife pointed out to me last week, said, Kevin, what are you going to do about the solar eclipse? I said, the what? And I was like, work,
Yeah.
It's like, I'll be at the office.
Yep.
So
another day.
Just business as usual here.
That's right.
So
kind of what you call it after your 30th birthday. Just another day.
Another day in paradise. So,
that's right.
But, for all those that are into that, great. Science was not my cup of tea in school.
Mm-hmm.
I struggled mightily. Shout out to one of my high school teachers who told me I would be living in my parents' basement.
Hey.
I think that was Mrs. Klotz.
Speaking of,
But-
shout out though.
But I'm not 100% sure about that, so
Rolled
I do
her
have
under
some
the
friends
bus
that
and
could
then
verify
backed up.
or confirm who that was. But anyway, that's enough about science. That's all I need to say about that. Nick, how do you feel about the solar eclipse?
You know what? It is what it is. It's another event, kind of,
It's science.
sure. It's guess what? Whether science was invented or not, it would probably happen a billion times by now, right? You believe in that. So I don't understand the significance. What I do think is pretty cool is, and it keeps me busy at night, especially when I'm up late feeding little man, or he's up at 4 a.m. like he was today for a feeding. Makes TikTok and those reels on Facebook fun because you get to see all the conspiracy theorists that say the world's going to end today. I like.
Are you
listening.
a conspiracy theory guy?
I am. I like listening to them because I think they're hilarious. I think that most of them obviously is a clown. It's a show. They put on a show just to get views and stuff like that, that's fine. Whatever takes the cake for you. But to me, it's listening to some of them and then reading the comments afterwards. They're like, they're like, you're preparing for Armageddon. And when in reality, like when you look at it from the scientific standpoint, it just happens that two big ass rocks just happen to be passing by one another, one in the direction of another, and it'll get dark for a little bit. I guess. Is it supposed to get dark for a little bit? I mean, right now, according to multiple Facebook posts for all those, CSI people, news reporters and stuff that love to post stuff on Facebook, it's supposed to be happening right now, but damn if it don't look pretty sunny and shiny right now outside.
I would agree. Have you seen the ones on Instagram that it's the moon, I guess, in front of the sun, and then as it starts to brighten up, it says, "Fuck Joe Biden."
That's so branded.
I mean, we don't talk politics here.
No, but
I saw that and I'm like, oh
it's-
man, the memes that are going to come from this are
hilarious editing.
Yeah.
Hilarious editing
Yep.
for that. Absolutely.
Another one was Morgan Wallen. He just got arrested this morning
Saw that.
I think throwing
Chair.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
I think he threw a chair overboard or
So-
something of one of the rooftop bars.
So here's my question about Morgan. Morgan's probably one of the biggest country stars, like hottest country stars right now, right?
Yeah.
You would say, is there a chance that he's got an album coming out soon, or he's going on tour soon?
He's on tour, yeah.
He's on tour currently.
I think his tour for the year just started last week or something.
Okay,
like that.
all right. So what a hell of a way to promote yourself, Johnny Cash Jr. Go ahead and get
One way to do
go ahead
it.
and get yourself arrested while you're going on tour. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
His music's good.
His music is good, but then but think about it. Think about the '90s and the early 2000s. There were no bad boys of country. You know what I mean? Compared to back when Johnny Cash was doing country and all those guys. You know what I mean? They call outlaw country, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
There hasn't been anybody like that. So I guess
Hank Williams.
It's
Or
all
Hank.
the way back. Junior.
Yeah.
Anyway. Merle Haggard, all those guys.
Yeah.
So those were the outlaws
Yeah.
of country music.
Way
And
before our time.
yes. Yeah.
But legends.
Yes, absolute legends in the game. But as far as, what Morgan's trying to do, I mean, that's his persona, right? I guess that's what he's trying to bring on to him. So he's probably going to come out, make a public statement. I'm sorry, I was drunk. I didn't mean to do it. Blah, blah, blah.
At least it was that this time and nobody got hurt.
That's usually the difference between, the country game and the rap game, isn't it? Someone almost always gets hurt.
Yeah, they're not talking about boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, no, just
No,
they're not pulling out their 6-shooters out there on Main Street and
this conversation is gone.
you started.
Way different than
You started.
we planned, but I think that's so. Yeah, Morgan Wallen. But one of the things was his song "Sunrise." Like they had that going.
Oh, okay.
But,
there you go. There you go. Okay, that's fair
Yeah,
enough.
so I thought that was pretty funny.
Sure. Sure.
But getting back to this, that's enough solar eclipse rabbit hole talk that we need to have.
Yeah.
So,
Moving on.
and there was another that I just did, but in case anyone's counting, I have no idea what we're at, but Nobody needs to know that.
No. Into the Masters.
The Masters. Who you got? Well, first, let me start this.
Go ahead.
I did it again. Last night,
I love it.
I see the Masters post, and it's the menu, and it's the golf course, and it just says like coming or it's time.
Yep.
And it's just like, oh man, here we go.
Yep.
So
very
excited.
It's
Did
awesome.
you watch yesterday? They had playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
What'd you think about him taking like a timeout to go get taped up?
If it's legal, do it.
Yeah.
If there's not a rule about it, there will be a rule about it. And if there wasn't a rule about it, then obviously it wasn't that big of a deal to begin with for them to think that it needed a rule. I mean, think about baseball. Think about football. How many rules have been changed and added and changed and added? And guess what? I believe golf has been around a lot longer than they have. Both of those sports, I would have to think.
Yeah.
Fact check me on that. Call me out in the comments.
Yeah.
But I would have to think golf was invented before baseball and football were. So that means there's been more time to do the rule. And I mean, have you ever looked at a rule book for golf?
Fuck no.
Have you ever played with someone who supposedly knows the rule book?
Occasionally.
Okay. Well, I mean, like
not like
Sunset
no.
A. Yeah. No fun. They take the fun right out of the game. So I usually, I'll stop at the turn and just say, I'm going to go sit at the bar. You guys finish the 9.
Have fun.
Yeah. So it's good to know some of the rules, especially if you're playing something competitive. Like I know a couple of my buddies, when we'll play on the weekends and stuff like that, we'll do a 2v2. So, and we'll either do match play or we did stroke play one time, and it was actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. And just stuff like that. So it's kind of, and we're all loose with the rules as well.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, we don't follow them to an absolute T. There's one for me. I actually had a golf tournament that I was in this past Friday that I was sponsored a hole and everything for.
How'd you play?
And I didn't do bad. My game. I'm not the guy that come off. I'm not the tee box guy.
Shout out to Nick. Nick is the guy that's gonna get a video of everybody swing off the tee box, but not get one of himself.
Except for me.
Except
for me. I even got my father, who wasn't on my team, and I sent him the video. He goes, "Oh, that's awesome." Not at one point did I think, "Hey, maybe I should shoot one for weekend post and everything."
Nobody wants to see that.
So the first thing this morning, I messaged Kevin, and I'm like, "Listen, what had happened was." And then
I was thinking it to myself on Friday
when you saw the post.
When I saw it, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's coming. Maybe he just hasn't. But
no. And believe it or not, I actually hit a couple decent drives that would have probably looked cool on the shot tracer, but we make mistakes.
It happens.
We make mistakes in life. The only thing that we can do is make sure we don't make them twice.
Very true. One thing I was gonna say there. You saying playing golf on the weekends? That's how I know you only have one kid. Once you get to 3,
that's like level 3. Level 3. I call it level 3. That's you're at the biggest boss there that you have to defeat, and that's one of those things that where, like I told you, I mean, we need to try to get out during the week.
Yeah,
that's weekends are getting tighter. We're starting to get into wedding season. And all that kind of stuff, and people having cookouts. So, those Saturday, and your kids are in a ton of sports.
T-ball, soccer, and
that's what I'm saying. You're at a different field multiple times a day during the weekend. So during the week is going to be those free times that we get. And, if it wasn't for filming today, honestly, we would have probably been out playing today. There's a good chance.
It's a
beautiful
nice
day. It is today. Tomorrow's going to be
Don't look at the sun, though.
Don't look at it directly. So it was funny. I did see. All right, back to the eclipse one more time. I had a really funny.
That's my fault.
I saw the post.
I went there,
and it said, "Today you shouldn't look directly into the solar eclipse. However, you should have never been looking directly at the sun to begin with, because it's not good for your eyes."
Fair point.
So so don't be dumb about that.
It's hard.
It is. It's very hard. But back to golf, back to the Masters.
Yeah.
I mean.
What do you think of Tiger this week? You think he's.
I think he makes the cut.
Okay.
As long as he doesn't get hurt. I've been hammering on this, And, reading, I know one of the points that me and you wanted to bring up was the list of things he's been doing to prepare for this week. And it's,
Commitment right there.
the one that went the most viral was him not having sex. And, for a guy like Tiger, who a little bit
He's
of
never had a problem in the past.
got a little bit of a background on that one. I never read or saw anything that truly confirmed that was true. Is it a good chance? Yes. I mean, I'll shout out to my old high school football coach, Coach Means. I mean, he always said, don't have a girlfriend in high school if you're playing ball, because he called them quote unquote career enders. Yeah, and never can't speak truly to that because I played line, so I didn't move faster because I didn't that day or something like that. So I mean, it was one of those things to where I guess you'd have to talk to one of the skills guys if they knew that.
I don't think there's much
if
to
it
that.
made a difference. I don't know. Maybe there's
Might make you a little calmer and not as.
That's maybe I guess maybe it depletes your energy a little bit. I don't know.
Depends on what's going on there.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But
exactly. But back in high school, I mean, I had energy for days. So
especially now.
Yeah. I knew where you get ready to go on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of energy.
Yep. No, I think and I want to hear your opinion too. As long as he doesn't get hurt or hurt himself, I believe he at least makes the cut.
Mm-hmm.
There's one for me. And I think he stays competitive. I mean, he was there this whole past week, last week, doing practice rounds, doing all that kind of stuff. So, I mean,
I like what I see.
Yeah, no.
He's the first one on the range today, too, from what I saw.
No surprise there.
So,
no surprise. He came, he was big when I like to compare, as far as comparison to another sport, I like to compare him to Kobe Bryant, that Mamba mentality, you know, and that's one of those things to where the guy just knows how to win. Granted, it's been a little while, but he knows what it takes.
The last time he won the Masters was one of the most incredible things
to see
I've seen.
Yeah.
But one of the things is he broke his deal off with Nike.
Yeah.
And now he's got the Sunday Red.
Yes.
Which is coming, I think they launch like May 1st. So this is going to be the first weekend we get to see some of what it's going on sale May 1st. Yes. It's not available yet.
Yep.
So we get to see some of his new
apparel
and stuff coming. So
it won't take long before that turns into a huge deal.
Absolutely. It's Tiger. I mean, he probably carried Nike Golf for a long time.
The longest, yeah. Yep.
But
so up until, he was golf for so many years, and then you finally started seeing some new younger blood come on because, back in high school, I can tell you I didn't watch one swing of golf.
I didn't watch much, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, not if I did, it was because my father just happened to be watching it, and I just sat down in the same room that he was in, but I wasn't paying attention to it.
Even in college, I wasn't
slowly. I started to watch a little bit more slowly. Now I wasn't as into it as I am now, but slowly, and then it really started to pick up a few years after I graduated. I started playing more then as well and everything like that, but it was one of those things where it's something that happened within the past 5-10 years. But prior to that, I just knew Tiger was the best because I watched SportsCenter every day.
Absolutely, so I'm with you.
SportsCenter top 10.
That's my news.
Exactly. Right.
I don't watch the news.
No.
That's why I didn't know about this whole solar eclipse thing.
Nope. Not at all.
But yeah, so I think Tiger though, if he hangs around, if he makes the cut, well, not if he just makes the cut, but if he's in the top 10, top 5 going into Saturday, the amount of pressure that puts on the leaders, because there's nothing like a Tiger following around, and that pressure that it puts on the other players as well.
Yep.
So I think if he hangs around, that might be Saturday if you want to double down on,
if you're laying
your odds
on them, absolutely.
Absolutely. That might be something to take a peek at.
I looked at the odds of him placing in the top 20, and I think he was plus 140. the places. So I
Sounds
mean,
about
even
right.
even Vegas is kind of thinking, hey, he's got a shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's not a long shot. So, but personally, it's if Tiger wins it, it'll be one of the coolest things that have happened in a long time. But if he doesn't, I mean, your top two got to be Scheffler and Rahm, right?
Scheffler, Rahm,
So
Brooks.
Brooks, yeah, Brooks. I mean, but
Brooks should
look
have.
at the golf that Scheffler's been playing.
I know. I
He's,
know.
I mean, it's scary. I mean, what was he? He was 5 or 6 down 2 Sundays ago and ended up winning. That missed putt though, ooh, that's golf.
Yeah.
That's golf. You don't know what putt I'm talking about? Look that video up.
Mm.
Is that the Arnold Palmer Classic?
But I do
Yeah.
think though, like I think Brooks was in contention last year, right?
Brooks was, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
if I'm not mistaken, and I'm sorry,
and then I think
retract
Rahm
that.
ran away.
Yeah, retract that. That was at the Players that putt happened, not the Arnold. He had won the Arnold the week before.
You're fired.
Blew everybody out. That's fine. You'll rehire me. It's all right, and I'll get better pay next time.
There you go. You're getting paid.
I'll go to negotiate better. Somebody's got to be.
But I like Brooks and Scotty this week.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if I want to take and I'm a Spieth guy too, so
Yeah.
I think Spieth could
Yeah.
make a run at it.
I mean, any of those guys. Rory could pull something out of his ass. All
Yeah.
of a sudden, he was playing very well this past weekend.
You got one dark horse that you like? Not one of the top 5 guys or 10?
Yeah, right. Joel.
Okay.
I think Joel. What's his,
Damon,
Damon
the
Domin.
one from Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I believe he's in it. So the only reason I picked him is because he made it a point on the full swing to say that he was ranked like dead last almost every single year as one of the worst golfers. And then all of a sudden he finally wins a tournament and he gets going a little
Got
bit.
hot, yeah.
Yeah. So
did you watch? You watched season 2?
I haven't gotten to season 2 yet. I'm still rolling through season 1. I'm a little behind, just with the newborn and everything like that. I'm trying to sneak in episodes and stuff, but yeah, I got to his episode. Crazy story with him, with sickness and all that kind of stuff, and just absolutely crazy. But yeah, that's my dark horse.
Okay.
You? That wasn't an by the way.
Yeah, it was a
That was a There it is.
Let's go with come back to me.
Okay, we'll do that. Up next, did you watch any basketball over the weekend?
Who didn't? Caitlin Clark is the
CC.
yeah, she's the talk of everything. South Carolina women, though, I mean,
Tough. That's a
all
tough team.
Here's the other thing, though. I think more people are talking about the women game or women games than they are the men's.
Than the men's. Yeah. I felt like they were just as competitive as far. I don't know if it's the hype that Caitlin Clark has brought to the women's side of the game or what it is. But you have to look at what I mean, even the South Carolina head coach gave her a shout out.
Yeah.
During her winning speech, she said, this year wouldn't have been as big as it is without Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
No matter what. And I believe that.
I think they're right.
I believe so. But it's, South Carolina, the perfect season. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, and she's going to go down as a Hall of Fame head coach.
Yeah.
Because that's their 3rd or 4th national championship in the past 5 or 6 years. So,
I thought UConn was going to beat Iowa, Friday night.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me on that advice. Sorry to anyone who did listen to me.
Oh,
group chat.
man. Yeah. That was fun to watch. I would turn my head for, 20 minutes to feed my son and look back, and I've missed 52 text messages in regards to what the lock of the night was. Turns out.
I was not putting locks out there. I was just saying, hey, this is what I think.
Turns out Vegas had the key to every one of those locks that was put in the group text. They unlocked every single one.
Quickly.
Very, yes. I mean, some of them were done by halftime. It was just like, there's no chance this is going to happen. So, yeah. It's just, I mean, you had a good national championship game. Iowa got off to a really fast start, which you knew that they had to do, and then you were just hoping that they were going to be able to hold on and just carry, but one person can't do it. Even professional sports kind of shows that Caitlin Clark, she carried them to the finals, and it's funny when you're watching the possessions and getting the play-by-play by some of the people in our group message. When you're watching the possession, she's just going down and everyone just kind of spreads out and gives her the middle of the lane,
It's
and
incredible.
Or other than that, they're setting screens for her to come off of picks and shoot. And I'm sitting there like, we're getting away, as someone who's, coached a couple of sports and stuff like that. I'm looking at it like this is all you're drawing up. You're drawing this up against the best team in the country, multiple national championships, one of the best head coaches in the league. There's only so many different ways you can get one person open. You got to be looking for someone else. And the final, I don't know, 6-7 minutes, I didn't see Caitlin Clark really looking to dish it. She was just going at the rim every single time. And I think that one girl that plays for South Carolina, she has to be close to 7 foot.
I think she's like 6'7".
Okay,
which in women's basketball is like a 7-footer.
Yeah, I was gonna. That's equivalent to a 7-footer. And she would. I mean, it just took. I don't even think she had to jump half the time. She just put her hand up. It's like the guy who plays for Purdue.
Yeah.
So he just towers over everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And talk about a really good game there. Purdue and men's.
Purdue and NC State.
NC State.
Or are you talking about the game tonight?
No, Purdue and NC State. No, yeah. The game that ended up being a pretty good game. Just seeing the bigs battle down low and everything like that.
DJ Burns is great to watch.
He was okay. DJ Burns was the Caitlin Clark of the men's tournament to me. He carried NC State all the way, I believe, to that Final Four. So, and they just ran into a freight train of a team in Purdue.
Yeah, I mean Purdue. This is also crazy. The 2 number 1 seeds, Purdue and UConn, getting there.
Since that happened.
So, and it's the first time I think I heard this today. It's the first time that they'll have 2 7-footers going against each other. As UConn's got a good big guy too.
Yes, yeah.
Yep. So my problem with tonight, the game doesn't start till 9:20. Not to sound like a boomer, but that's like, man.
Yeah.
I think the women had the right schedule. Friday, and then have the game on Sunday afternoon.
Yep. Middle Sunday afternoon. Like you miss the church group because you're past church and you're right before kind of dinner time. So you're not cutting into dinner time. And, who has the best schedule out of all sports? The NFL. When are most of their games played? Sundays.
Yep. Here's my crazy take of the day. I think more people may have watched the women's national championship yesterday than are going to watch the men's tonight.
I agree.
Possibly.
I agree. I think more people watched the women's national championship yesterday simply to enjoy the game. The people watching tonight, the majority will be
more degenerates
because they're betting on it. Yes.
Men are just degenerates. Is that what we're saying here?
I mean, essentially, there's a lot of women gamblers out there. Don't underscore them just yet. I've met 1 or 2 of them before, and I'm like, okay, congratulations.
I got my wife to create an account.
You just wanted the free $150.
But we did well, and then she started to kind of like it, and we went. I think it was a Super Bowl, as we were at a neighbor's house, and then she had to come back and put 2 of our kids to bed, and I stayed with the other one there. Yep. And she's like, I have this one bonus bet, but it expires soon. I have to make these bets. Mm-hmm. And I didn't respond. So she went in and did it. And then she was invested, watching what she bet on. And
very nice.
I'm like, that's what it's all about right there.
You know what's funny? I have a very similar parallel counter story to that, where my wife, a few years ago when Detroit was on Hard Knocks, the
Hmm.
Detroit Lions, she just happened to come in while I was watching the second episode, and she was just sitting there. We didn't have Little Man yet, so we actually got to sit down and enjoy a whole episode of something without one interruption.
Yep.
Not that it's a bad thing. I'm just
It happens just after they go to bed now. That's when
Yes,
you'll get that time.
exactly. Yeah, I'm reminiscing. But so she then got a liking to the Detroit Lions. She liked the head coach, Dan Campbell. Who doesn't really?
Yeah,
I mean, if
absolutely.
you don't like him, you don't like football really. But she started taking a liking to them, and I didn't join the DraftKings circuit probably up until last year. So 2 years ago and prior, I would go to the casino and make my bets, or I would go to off track betting places that had football parlay bets and stuff like that. And every week that I would go, she would say, or I would text her, be like, "Hey, I got an extra $10. Is there, do you want to bet anything?" She goes, "Yeah, just bet Detroit." So if you remember correctly, 2 years ago, they won like 9 out of 11 games. Right? It was something crazy
Oh wow.
in a row,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
9 out of 11 streak. She hit. They won 6 in a row. She just kept rolling it over every week. Money line, money line, money line. And
There
if
you
it was
go.
against a very good opponent, I would take the points if they were getting points.
But you wouldn't tell her?
I didn't tell her. Just to help her out, just because I was nervous about it. So I may have cost her $1 or $2. It wasn't much, but eventually, like she turned that $10 that I just said, "Hey, I got an extra $10." She turned that into $170 within just a couple of weeks. And I said, "Are you sure you want to keep rolling this?" She goes, "No, let me take 120 out and just bet 50 this week."
Hmm.
No problem. Here's your 120. I said, "What do we, Lions money line?" She goes, "Yes." I said, "Okay." I forget what happened. I was not able to get her bet in that week.
Oh no.
They lost.
It's because of you.
They lost.
Because of you.
She goes, "I'm very upset that they lost, but I'm not upset at the fact that you didn't get down there and make the bet." I said, "Thank you for not being mad at me." So, needless to say, Tuesday, that following week, when the new lines came out, I was forced to go down and put that $50 on Detroit that week, and they won.
There you go.
Yep. So it was one hell of a streak. She just, I mean, it wasn't parlay with anything else. We didn't do overs, didn't do unders, we didn't throw the Ravens in. Not just Detroit.
All
Detroit
right.
money line, or I was taking the points if they were playing like a huge opponent. So,
Nice.
and she won. We did it again this past year when they beat Kansas City week 1. And
There you go.
I once again I took the points. I said, "I'm sorry, you're getting some points against Kansas City, defending champs." She goes, "Okay." She goes, "I think they're going to win." I said, "Okay." We watched the game. I was like, "Holy shit, they actually won."
You never know.
Yep. But I think that they got something going in Detroit.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway,
Absolutely.
we got sidetracked again. So
That's okay.
got the men's national championship tonight. Biggest college basketball game of the year. What's your prediction?
I like Purdue to cover, but I like UConn to win.
Ooh.
Little backdoor action.
I'm going Purdue. And I think that it's going to be, I hate to say it, I think it's going to be a little bit more low scoring affair than people think.
Old school.
Yeah, just moving the ball
Kick
around.
it inside.
Yep, you're going to see a little bit more slow ball.
Feed the post.
Yep, feed the big man. Let him eat. So you got UConn, I got Purdue.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep, but I do have Purdue to cover. I think it's going to be a close game.
Oh, yeah. It should definitely. There's no, unless someone big goes down like if the big man goes down on Purdue, I believe that's the only way UConn can blow them out. But UConn's coming off the national championship last year, so they've been here before. It's been since, I believe they said, the '60s since Purdue was there last.
That's crazy.
Yeah, since Purdue was in the championship.
That's crazy.
So yeah, but I mean, huge thing for that school.
Yeah.
For that basketball school. And wait a minute, real quick. Speaking of huge things for schools, how about Alabama?
Roll
A
Tide.
football school making the Final Four. We didn't bring that up last week.
I don't give a piss about nothing.
But the Tide.
Tide.
I'm just, you gotta love Willie. But I mean,
you see, they had him at spring ball.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That man's a nut.
Oh
That
man,
man's a nut. Yep.
yeah. I thought them making the Final Four. Oh, did you see the other news today? Coach Cal took the job at Arkansas.
I did see that at 4 a.m. this morning, and once again, I'm sitting here thinking, it's not April Fool's anymore. He really is. But see, what's crazy is Kentucky came out and said he's coming
returning.
back.
Yeah,
he's returning. But so I guess it was
go find a job. We don't want to fire you and pay
correct.
$33 million
Yes,
and a buyout.
Yeah,
Good for him.
Yeah, I believe it was one of those mutual things where yes, one, probably money had a lot to do with it, but two, moreover or more so, I just believe that the Calipari Kentucky,
That relationship was over.
it was over with. Yeah, and and it's fun, and it's pretty cool. Like in one of the All-Star games a couple years ago, or maybe just recently, it showed like 9 All-Stars came through Calipari in Kentucky, like all on the same year. They all made the All-Star team. 9 of them went to Kentucky.
That team with John Wall,
Coach
DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh my goodness! Yep.
That was
a duo right there.
Yeah.
And then shout out Wizards, hoping that John Wall was going to lead us to the promised land, and
we had something there.
Got us to the playoffs a few times. Was a highlight reel to say the least.
Checked in a fool with JaVale
McGee. Just couldn't get it done.
But I heard something the other day. JaVale McGee's still in the NBA.
He is.
Or they're like 17 years in the NBA.
Yes, yeah, he's got a long tenured career.
Good for him.
Absolutely. Because but think about it though. Guys like that, they never got the huge contracts.
Yeah.
That the superstars did. So they got to play it out as long as they can. They got to milk that, league minimum for a veteran player, which is still a couple $1 million a year, plus all the health insurance benefits and all that stuff that they get by still being an active player in the NBA.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think about that kind of stuff. Guys who've played 15 plus years in the pros, they're beat up. So having that health care and health insurance that they don't have to pay for out of pocket,
absolutely
comes in play big time.
Absolutely. But man, those teams with John Wall, JaVale McGee, those old Wizards teams, where they were all young and
they were fun to
Nick
watch.
Young,
Karan Butler,
like just
Swaggy P. Shout out Swaggy P.
Just didn't play a whole lot of defense, but
but
they were exciting. But
running gun.
I think that's pretty much everything we had to talk about today. We do have our last segment, which is our dad life, our dad moment of the week, whatever we want to call it. That's still a working title.
Yeah, you take this one first this week. I went first last week.
For me, we have t-ball. Haley has t-ball practice tonight, so looking forward to that. That's going to be fun.
Very nice.
But this weekend we went to one of those like jumping trampoline places. And all 3 kids were there, and they were exhausted after that. So,
like NyQuil.
It was awesome. They all had a blast. Like
that's good.
So much fun.
That's good. See, that's got to be content that we shoot where me and you get out there on jump springs.
Nobody wants to see that.
No, I'll need braces.
I did do it, and I had Colt out there with me.
Yeah.
Dude, he has no fear. Just in the middle of everything.
Love that.
Going up to he went up to like a bigger kid and just tried to push him out of his way. So he doesn't understand. Like he can only there's only supposed to be one person on the
at a time.
So
he wanted his turn.
Yeah.
Listen, attack life that way, right?
So,
it's not. Nobody's gonna hand nothing to you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying go beat anybody up.
And
these are little kids that we're talking about.
Other thing was, it was a great weekend. Got out, cut my grass yesterday.
There you go.
Everything.
There you go.
Got the yard looking good.
Hey, I gotta take a day this week and do that myself. My plan was to do it yesterday. The wife had a lot of stuff. She had so much stuff on her plate this weekend. Shout out, Kate. I mean, she got so much done this weekend, and it was like that was my plan for yesterday because it was kind of a nice day, and one thing after another came up, and it was just like I just didn't get to it. But the lovely part about what we do and being our being a business owner is that tomorrow it's supposed to be mid 70s. So after I got an appointment right around noon tomorrow, after that I'm probably gonna head home and start up the lawnmower and have the freshest cut in the neighborhood, at least for a day, because I have a retired neighbor that lives two doors down, and man, you could putt in his backyard. Like I swear he has like Bermuda grass back there or something.
That's awesome.
It's stupid. Like he just and he'll go riding around the neighborhood with his grandson on his lawnmower, and I swear he's judging my lawn as he drives by because I haven't gotten to it yet, and I'm like,
I would judge you.
I'm not retired. Oh, that's judge away, judge away. But guess what? For 24 hours, I'm gonna have the best looking lawn in the neighborhood.
There you
At least
go.
until he gets out and cuts his again.
Yep.
So yeah, but dad moment for me last week was a rough one for me. Little man got croup, which as a new parent, new dad, I wasn't prepared for that. So I think the wife averaged maybe an hour of sleep a night, and I averaged maybe 3.5 a night, just because every time we'd hear it, we were terrified. Thankfully, and I'm knock on a little bit of wood, that cough itself is gone, but now the poor guy's got tons of nasal congestion. I mean, it's just, and I'm using the saline drops. Shout out, friend of mine, his wife is a pediatrician. I texted him. He texted me back right away. He said, yeah, the wife said saline drops for, just get the infant kind that aren't medicated.
Yeah.
And, they have been helping.
Nice.
Like almost immediately. I bought both a cooling humidifier and a warming humidifier.
I didn't even know there was a difference.
Listen, it was there. I bought it. Once again, I'd buy anything for him just to make him feel better, because he doesn't look miserable.
Yeah.
Because he giggles the whole time. So the blue sucker thing.
That's
I
good.
forget what it's called.
Yeah, the snot sucker.
I'll have that thing halfway up his nostril and suck out something that long, and he'll just sit there and giggle at me.
That long?
Like that long? I'm not kidding. Yeah, dude, it just comes out and it's like, whoa. But I think he giggles because he's like, oh shit, I can breathe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like instant relief, and he just, he's at the age now, he's a little over 2 months, that he just started smiling and everything a lot now. Recognizing my voice, Kate's voice and everything.
Oh, there you go.
So those are the good moments, man. That's the stuff that you told me it'll get better. Like that made it better. Like
smiles and the giggles are
oh
the
yeah, starting to chit chat more. But yeah, that was my dad moment of the week, was dealing with the first of probably thousands of different sicknesses that we're gonna have to deal with over time. I'm sure you've gone through them all, and you still got more to come, because yours are still pretty young too. So it's just, that's,
anytime they get sick, it's no fun.
It's not. And like Mama Tammy said, that's part of being a parent.
Yep.
It's just, you gotta take the hits and roll with them and just make them as comfortable as you
It's
can.
always something.
So like I said, I got the warming one, in the warming one you can put the Vicks vapor in it, so the Vicks vapor comes out. So
nice.
I pretty much got my room like a greenhouse where he sleeps, so that way at night he's getting, it's clearing him up and keeping him clear. And in the mornings we got the saline drops, and let that whirse around in there a little bit, and I'm going in with the blue sucker and ripping whatever's in there out.
Nice.
So he just, and of course I get update messages from daycare, and they said, no congestion, sounds good all day, no cough. I'm like,
there you go.
That's a win. It's a win for the day.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, that's a little long winded, but that was my dad moment of the week.
No, you're good.
This past week.
You're good. Absolutely. Oh, one other thing I forgot was, after we went to the trampoline place for the birthday party, we had date night. That was nice.
Ooh, okay.
Had my parents come up to watch the kids. So
speaking of that, shout out Mama.
First time in a long time.
Shout out Mama and Papa Creighton. They took little man Friday night for us.
There you go.
Because of how rough of a week that we had sleeping and everything. Friday, he finally started getting a little better. The cough was really going away, and I asked my mom, and she goes, of course, he can stay here whenever. So we dropped him off. We ran a couple errands. We came back to the house, went out to dinner with some friends, came back to the house, both got in bed, both just passed out.
There you go.
Passed out. And I woke up at 4, just because he's always up at 4. And I'm like, yeah, I can go back to sleep. So, but I set an alarm because I didn't want to be too late getting them from my parents, because I know they do it as a favor. So I don't want to leave them there all day.
Yeah.
But yes, very similar weekend to yours as far as that goes, where the grandparents stepped in. I don't want to say step up because they've been there the whole time, but stepped in and gave us the rest that we needed, that we really needed, especially my wife. to make that happen. So,
Nice.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Dude, we were home by like 7:00
oh,
at night.
they
We caught the early bird special. We were at dinner at like 4:45.
yes,
But still, like it was
Yes.
perfect.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yep.
I think we
Yeah.
both had a good time.
We met up with
got
Kate's
home.
friends, and it was like, and they were like, "When do we want to do dinner?" And someone, someone probably said like 7:38. I'm like, no,
Fuck you, no, way.
no, absolutely not. No, 6:30. We'll be there. Needs to still be light outside, and then we grab some Cold Stone after because it was right around the corner. You got to get it when it's right around the corner. And then
you have to.
we went right home, got in bed, turned a movie on, and she made it through. I did not make it through the movie. I looked at her dead in her face, said, "I love you. I'm going to sleep." That was it.
Nice.
I was out. So, and then I finished the movie the next day.
There you go.
Yeah, but
well, I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No, other than if I had to say, your outfit is on point. I appreciate you showing out for the podcast. I mean, if I had to say something, the great John Daly, you got to be his alter ego, John Weekly. So that's with those pants. I fucking love it. So listen, watch some golf, play some golf, stay clean. Don't look at the sun.
Comment, like, subscribe. Comment about what you think our picks were for the Masters, and if we're idiots or if we're geniuses.
National championship game too.
National championship.
Yep.
Leave lots of comments.
Please do.
And if you want to hear us talk about anything else moving forward, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
absolutely.
That is all I got.
It's uncontrollable.
It is uncontrollable. Thank you very much for watching or listening or whatever you're doing.
Yep.
We'll see you next week.
Have a great one.
That's it.
Oh, shit. Please include that.
I will. That was good.
Let's hope it actually recorded.
I
would cry if it didn't.
I would too. Yeah, it's been going 46, 47 minutes.
Okay.